books, I thought I'd look at some of my favorite children's books today. This is a bit of my ELA teacher self coming out. I've taught ELA now for about, this is my 8th year. One of the years I taught science and social studies, but so 7 years now, I guess, then, of teaching ELA in 3rd, 4th, or 5th grade. What else? My mom's a teacher. My grandmother was a librarian when I was growing up, so I've always been very much, I guess, centered around books and authors, and anything literature related was really the way I went. As you can see, we're in the nursery today with my absolutely favorite display of books. Those are IKEA shelves. It's actually the, what are they called? It's the long IKEA picture shelf that we just mounted to the wall and put our books on it, and I'll move the camera so you can see a little bit higher. But we even found some letters and stuff and put it on there, and it goes up pretty high. Harrison can't reach the whole thing, but it's one of those things that's like more for mama than for baby, because I just love it so much. So anyway, guys, on to the books. One of my first authors I picked up off the shelf today was the Berenstain Bears. This is by Jan and Mike Berenstain. I really like the whole collection of Berenstain Bears, and I love the cartoon. I feel like if you're going to let your kid watch TV, it might as well be something remotely wholesome, and Berenstain Bears is it. I like that. What really makes me like a children's book is not just the story and the topics, but the illustrations, and I just like the way you can kind of see it on here. I like the way the illustrator draws for the Berenstain Bears. It's just, overall, it's a great series. Now, I wish the ones that we had were hardback. I don't really like babies and softback books, so there's that. I'll save this one for last. Another book that I recently found through Scholastic, because I do use a lot of my Scholastic points that I get as a teacher from my students ordering to order books for my classroom, and then I saved up a bunch and used them all to buy books for Harrison. And one of the ones I got before he was born was Alexander and the Wind-Up Mouse by Leone. I'm not sure about the last name. Can you see the name on there? Yeah. Okay. What I really love about this, it's a cute story, but like I said again, I love illustrations. And the illustrations in this book are absolutely gorgeous. It's really simple and classic looking. I like really classic children book designs. With some other pictures. It looks like they used a lot of different just like fabrics and textures to do this book. It's a favorite of mine, mainly because I like to look at it. I can't even tell you what the story is entirely about because I just love it so much. Actually, right now, yeah, I'm remembering what the book was about, but I love the illustrations and the colors and like patterns that they used in it. This is a favorite of Harrison's. Harrison likes to pick this one up and look at it, and it's a board book, so good thing it's a board book since it's one of his favorites. And it's Cookies Week by Cindy Ward and Tommy DePola, or Paola. Some of these last names I cannot say. It's really cute. Again, the illustrations in this one are really precious. It's just about a cat that gets into trouble, and it goes through the cat's whole week and what kind of mischief the kitty cat is up to. And it's very simple as far as the design goes, so there's not a lot to look at on the page. The kids can kind of focus on things, and the cat really stands out in each of the pictures, so they're easy to see. The words are simple, and I know at this age you don't want to get too wordy in a book so that they can pick up on the vocabulary a little bit better. So that's another favorite of ours. I'll put this with this one since it goes with the same author. One of my all-time favorite children's authors for the illustration and for the stories is Mercer Meyer. He tweeted me back one time, or retweeted me on Twitter, and I like about lost it. It was like having, I don't know, like Jennifer Aniston or somebody retweet you. I love Mercer Meyer. And that's, again, he's another one where it's just really classic illustrations. I myself, I like things when it has that old look, where I don't know if it's like early 1900s or what the dress is on it, but I love it. I like to think back and kind of pretend as if I lived in that time period with like a picket fence like that. I just love it. Mercer Meyer's illustrator is like one of my absolute favorite illustrators probably of all time. And again, it's really simple. The stories are really simple. I haven't read a lot of Mercer Meyer with Harrison yet because the ones I have are all paperback, but I did read them a lot with my nephew Joshua, and he was funny with them because he would pick up, there's a lot of repetition in Mercer Meyer books with how he says things, and Joshua would pick up and repeat it, and it was absolutely adorable that he was like repeating things. So you'd get to a part of the book, and even though he couldn't read, he would say what was fixing to be said there. I'll put that one down. Let's see. What's next? Let me go with The Napping House. I like this book. It's by Audrey Wood. I'll get a little bit closer so you can see it. That's another one I bought from Scholastic. It has really pretty illustrations in it as well. It's a nice little story that stacks up. I like the ones where they like, it's kind of like a forward motion where they're like, and they do this, and then the next person does this. It kind of goes with like the old lady who swallowed the fly song that there used to be. I don't know, do people still sing that? So anyway, it's cute. It's not the really old illustrations like I like, but it's still just a really simple, pretty illustration. It doesn't look too new. I'm not a fan of the new, what is it called? Like a lot of the new cartoons and stuff. I don't like their illustrations. They're just not that pretty to me. Another book that we like is Little Blue Truck, and I don't know why I didn't pull it down, but Little Blue Truck actually has a Christmas book that when you get to the last page, the Christmas trees and stuff light up. Super adorable. Harrison loved it at Christmas, and he wasn't even a year old yet. Little Blue Truck is another one with really great illustrations in it. And this is a book where I've actually seen, one of our friends did a birthday party with a Little Blue Truck theme a few years ago, and I loved it. It was like the cutest birthday party ever. So, Little Blue Truck. What else was it? Oh, this is by Alice. Oh, I'm not even going to try to say. No idea. That last name is difficult. I'll just put it up. If you look up Little Blue Truck, you'll probably be able to find it. What else was I going to say? This is another one for another good one for little kids because it repeats, it does animal sounds, and it has a lot of repetition, and I know little kids like to hear that. They like things that rhyme. Repetition is good. Corduroy, that's a classic. It's a little long for our age group at the moment. I try to read it to him, but we don't always make it all the way through Corduroy because it is so long. It's a very classically illustrated book. It's very simple pages. They just put exactly what they need on there. I got that one again from Scholastic. Scholastic, if you can get on Scholastic, you know a teacher, or you just start your own account. I know you can start homeschool accounts on there and order. You earn points real quick. They have great bonus points. So even if you want to pretend that you have a homeschool, I would do that just to get some Scholastic points and order books for free. Click Clack Peep. I discovered this through United Streaming. I don't know how many teachers out there watch this, but the United Streaming service is something I've used a lot in my classroom over the years. And Click Clack Moo is actually a video on United Streaming. And so when I was buying for Harrison, I saw Click Clack Peep. And who is this by? Doreen Cronin and Betsy Lewin. Why are the last names of these people so difficult all the time? So it's the creators of, Click Clack Moo, Cows That Type. And this one again has the same kind of sounds as, who was it? Little Blue Truck. They repeat sounds a lot. Little kids like it. Great illustrations. Nothing too complicated. It's fun, basic colors. The kids like it. We can sing moo and all the sounds that go with it, and they can kind of identify animals as they go through. And our doctors even said, which it's funny that I think our doctor even says this kind of stuff, but if you have a little bitty kid and they really aren't able to sit through and look at the just reading a book just yet, go through and be like, cow, sheep, and just like talk about what's on the pages instead of always just reading it. Another longtime favorite book. I feel like I'm saying that about all these, that they're all longtime favorites, but I really love children's books. I think they are amazing. I just love the illustrations. That's half of it. I like the illustrations, and I know I sound like a little kid liking it. But this is also, if you have a United Streaming account and you're a teacher, this is a United Streaming video. You could let your kids watch it at home. Chrysanthemum is another one with just really, really pretty illustrations. The story is kind of long right now for Harrison. He can't really keep up with it. But it's one of those where like Mama bought it because she loves it. I do that a lot. I think I'll save that one last. I'll save my Wolfie one last. Okay, so I don't know if you've ever heard about Books Are Fun. I haven't personally ordered from them, but my mom ordered and got us a golden book set from Books Are Fun. I think sometime last year is when she did it. 3 of the books are already on the shelf, so I'm not going to pull those out. But it just had some of the classic Books Are Fun in it. Golden Book is a great one. I love it. It has classic illustrations, and they're classic stories that we all read growing up. So this one came with the Pokey Little Puppy, the Happy Man and his dump truck, and Little Boys Love Trucks. Home for a Bunny, the Little Red Hen, the Little Red Caboose, and then let me see if I can see what's up here. It's Scruffy, the Tugboat, and Baby Farm Animals. I think there's one more, but it's not in the front where I can really see it right now. But this is another great way to get books, is to do Books Are Fun. And you can, a lot of times, honestly, you can find golden books at Goodwill, and it's Salvation Army in their book sections. People get rid of those. And I mean, all the better, buy the books from Goodwill and stuff, because then if your kids tear it up, it's really not going to hurt your feelings as much. Because right now, like, what does this book cost, USA? It doesn't say on it because I got it from Scholastic. But I mean, books are like, when I bought them for kids, for like friends' kids and stuff on, like for birthday parties, it costs so much money. It's like $8 for a book, where I'm used to, I guess, ordering from Scholastic and paying way, way less, or getting them completely for free. So hit up your Goodwill and your Salvation Army in hopes of finding golden books. That's a great way to get those for sure. I got this one around Easter because I wanted Easter themed. But I wanted to have, let's see, have anybody ever seen on Pinterest where they had the, like, at Christmas you wrap up all these books and you let the kids unwrap a book every night for the 12 days of Christmas? Well, I thought about doing the same kind of thing at Easter, not really wrapping them up, but kind of reading Easter themed books a little bit before Easter. And I picked up Wolfie the Bunny just because I thought the front cover was stinking adorable, and I like the illustration just on the front cover. And it's a really cute story about a wolf who tries to join a bunny family. And then, let's see, and the illustrations are like absolutely precious. I haven't looked to see if this author, this is Amy Dykman. I don't know if she's had anything else, and I really haven't looked up this illustrator to see if they've illustrated anywhere else, and that's Zachariah O'Hara. That's because it has the O in it, so it wouldn't be O'Hara. But anyway, I haven't looked them up to see what else they have. But this, I loved it. I think we read this a lot at Easter because I loved it. Not so much because Harrison loved it, but it was super cute about them accepting somebody that's different because they accept a wolf into their family. And now, for my last two books. My absolute favorite book of all time and my absolute favorite all-time author. And I think I've said that about, like, all the books. But Margaret Wise Brown is, like, you can't get more classic than a Margaret Wise Brown book. My mom read Goodnight Moon to me every single night when I was a child, and if you call her over the phone, she could still quote the entire book to you, which I have to say, I can now quote the entire book because my child has made me read it to him every single night. Margaret Wise Brown is great with illustrations. They're very classic illustrations, and one of the things I like about Goodnight Moon is that it starts off, and I never noticed this till my mom pointed it out, it starts off where the room's really bright, and as you go through the story, let's see, let's get past the black and white pages. The room gradually starts getting darker and darker until at the very end of the story, it's completely dark. And so you're supposed to kind of read it and be calm. And I love this. This is my hands down favorite nighttime book, bedtime book ever. And as you can tell, we're only 19 months in, and this little book has been worn half to death. If you don't read it to him at night, he gets mad. And I hadn't been reading it the past few nights, and he's been getting kind of irritated with me. Now, there's one other Margaret Wise Brown that I don't own, and that is My World. I'm still on search for the My World book, but a friend of mine was getting rid of some stuff right after I had Harrison, I guess, and she happened to have Runaway Bunny in her collection, and so I stole it from her because, again, I love the illustrator for Margaret Wise Brown. It's really great classic illustrations, and it's nice stories every single time. The only thing I don't like about the book is what a lot of people seem to love about these kind of books, and that's the fact that it's like a sad book. I don't like reading the books that are about, like, mom trying to keep the baby or, like, the kissing hand. I didn't put that in my collection. I like the illustrations, but I don't like reading it. Anything that's going to make me cry while I'm reading it, I'm not going to really like it. We read this one every once in a while because I do love Margaret Wise Brown, but it's kind of it's kind of sad about how even if you try to run away, like, I'll still find you, you go anywhere, I'll still, like, I'm still your mama. I do like, though, how in the Runaway Bunny, it's the same bunny. The old woman who says shh is in this book as well, and a lot of it is in the same house. I love the author, though. I don't know if she has more books other than these three. It'd be interesting to find out. I know these are really old books that were published in the 50s, I'm thinking. I'm not entirely sure. But anyway, those are my favorite books. I was going to do like a top 5 favorite books, but then I just started pulling everything I've ever owned off the shelf, I think. So thanks for hanging around for day 6 of 31 days of vlogging at Louisiana Bride. In the comment section, let me know what are some of your favorite children's books. So I can order them for Harrison and read them to myself or to my class. whoever. But thanks, guys. I'll see you tomorrow.